Good afternoon, hello, it's Daniel. This is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Today is video 5 from week 4 of my 7-week campaign in which I'm trying to lose 7 kilos of body weight through doing plenty of this, cycling, through eating well, tracking calories, doing exercise, and being in a calorie deficit of at least 1,000 calories per day. Now, if you haven't watched the previous few episodes, please do go back and watch them because I talk and ramble a lot about the reasons for this. But in a nutshell, I've struggled with my weight for all my life and I've let it slip in the last year or two. I was 104 and a bit kilos. Got lots of sporting events planned this year. Weight's difficult to talk about on the internet. This isn't advice. What I'm doing probably isn't what you should do, but this is what I'm doing. So I'm documenting it to try and show, transparency as to what I'm currently trying to battle through, whilst also hopefully inspiring some of you if you're in a similar situation. I don't really know, but I'm going to put it out there and just sort of see what happens essentially, because I am where I am. Now, I'm recording this ahead of time, so today is Wednesday the 12th of March, so bear that in mind when you're watching this, hopefully a few weeks later, that time has passed since then. And I'm 3.5 weeks in, 2.6 kilos down, slightly behind target, but this is the longest that I've ever had a fad go on for, so I'm taking the motivation from that. I think this is a big part of it as well, so thank you very much for holding me accountable, even though I haven't posted it yet. And yeah, it's difficult, but I'm plodding through it because I'm constantly reminded and motivated as to why I'm doing this thing. Today, the Ironman Leeds bike course has been released and run course has been released, or unofficially released, and that's one of my main events for this year, and it's really hilly. So I know that, in sport, weight is difficult to talk about, but generally speaking, if you're really heavy, you're going to be slower up hills, and I'd quite like to be back before it's dark. So that is part of the motivation. Wednesday, this week's been going well. I'm trying to just kick on a little bit more to try and catch up that 0.4 of a kilo that I've fallen behind. I might not be able to. I might be shooting myself in the foot here because it has been going well, but I'm going to give it everything I've got. So it's Wednesday. I've done about 8.5 hours of cycling, or 8 hours of cycling so far this week. My calorie deficit has been over 1,000 every day, ranging between 12 and 1,400, and I'm going to try and keep that going for the rest of the week. Tomorrow might not be as good, but I'll show you, take you along and see how that goes. But yeah, it's going all right, but I've certainly had some roller coasters mentally, and I'm being saved by doing quite a lot of exercise, I think, at the minute. But that's the intro to the week. Let's get stuck in and see what else happens this week, because this is crunch time now. We're coming into the 4th week. I was going to do some photos and stuff, and I might do later in this video. I'm not quite sure yet, but just check in how I look versus a few weeks ago, but we'll see. Also, it's really hard to know how this is going to go down, recording it so far in advance, but thank you very much for the support, if there has been support. If there hasn't been support, then I don't thank you, but if there is, then great. So that was Tuesday, and today is Friday. Now, this week has been exceptionally difficult, more difficult for Liz, my other half, than me, but it's had some knock-on effects. So this week was Liz's birthday. You might know by my very aptly titled card, but she's been ill all week, unfortunately, so not the best birthday for her. But what this has meant is that I'm feeling a little bit ill, but she's very unwell. So I've had to pick up, doing things in the house. Liz does so much for me, and I like to think that I understand everything she does for me, and I'm grateful for it. But I think just now being able to pick some stuff up, I'm like doubly sure that wow, she really, really does help me out. So I've had to really think about everything I'm doing, planning ahead food-wise, planning ahead meal-wise. Liz does most of the cooking normally, so when I'm training in an evening, what I'm finding is I am really ready to eat after I finish training, because I'm operating in such a deficit, and I'm like, when I'm on the bike for an hour and a half, I might have a little bit of food at the beginning or none, just get through it knowing that I'm then going to eat a meal straight away, get off the bike and I have to eat, and that's always been fine in the past because Liz has been very good and had dinner ready to go, perfect, but now I'm having to be a bit more self-sufficient, so it's been tough. Now, I have done a couple of things to try and make it a little bit easier. I've been eating normal things, so just like jacket potato, beans and cheese, fast things. I've also, and I know this isn't optimal, but I've also been gone to the shop and got sandwiches, because it's just easier and faster, especially when I'm training in a lunchtime. I haven't got time to make food afterwards. I've only need to pick something up, back at my desk, work, etc. So getting things like that aren't like this here, egg and bacon sandwich. I can see it's got a lot of salt in it, etc. But it's better than me reaching for something really bad or binging on something else. So yeah, that's been difficult. She is quite unwell, so sleep's been bad. I've got to take her to the doctors this morning. It's been pretty rough for her, so I really feel for her, and I feel like I've got a bit of a scratchy throat and a bit of a bunged up nose, but nothing too bad. It's been like this the last couple of days. My watch is telling me that I've got a high wrist temperature, whatever that means. And the only thing I'm worrying about now is, oh, this could derail my progress. If I'm not exercising, I spoke about this before, I feel like I'm out exercising an average diet. If I'm not exercising, I'm not going to lose any weight on an average diet. I might even put weight on, so I do need to seriously look at that. I'm going to be taking some professional advice in the next few days from somebody who's reviewed everything I've ate. So I'm going to put a clip of that either in this video or the next one, and he's going to put a full video on his YouTube channel. So I will leave a link to that down below if it's in this one. If not, it'll be the next one. So hopefully I get some insight into that. And yeah, just trying to stay sane. Now, my weight this week hasn't really come down much until today. I've been just over 101 kilos, and then today I was 99.7. So it's like just fluctuates so much. I know this is probably a fluctuation, but I'm taking that as motivation. I've been so motivated to get under 100. So just to see it once, I'm buzzing about. And hopefully, if I can shake this and get on the bike in the next few days, hopefully, surely I could stay below that, and then that's a big milestone, and I never want to go above 100 kilos ever again if I can help it in the next week or two. So yeah, right, I've got to crack on my work, and I will see you later on. Today's going to be a double bike day. I have to, really. I'm racing tomorrow, a quick race. I didn't perform very well at a race last week because I'm not fit enough for one, but also I think, you know, fueling is slightly an issue. Like, I haven't got that top end gas, so I'm just thinking about if I can do a bit more exercise today, as silly as it sounds. I can eat more, and even though I'm still going to be in a deficit, I still feel like I'm better fueled because I'm eating more. Like yesterday, I didn't exercise much. I was in a 500 calorie deficit, and I woke up at 2 a.m. like really hungry. I got back to sleep, but I was really hungry, whereas that hasn't happened any other night this week when I've been exercising more, eating more. So maybe there's something in that. Okay, so a lot happened after I recorded that clip. It's actually 3 weeks later now that I'm recording this video now, and it's been a bumpy old road. Very swiftly after this video, I started feeling a lot worse, and I've essentially spent the last 3 weeks very unwell. I'm not fully recovered yet at all. I've just got a third course of antibiotics from different ones. I've essentially had a bacterial chest infection, and then I got something viral as well, and I've just not managed to shake it. I've been pretty unwell. Liz has been unwell as well, but she managed to shake hers after, I don't know, 10 days, couple of weeks. But mine's just gone on and on. I've not done a single bit of exercise in 3 weeks. I've hardly moved in 3 weeks. I've been on this sofa, and I've been in bed, and I've been to various doctors and hospitals. That's all I've done. My diet has been up and down. Some days I've hardly eaten and drinking anything because of the symptoms I've been experiencing. Some days I've had big tubs of ice cream and things like that. So it's not been in any way in line with what I wanted to do in this series. I wanted to, as I said, 7 weeks, 7 kilos. Great training, great eating. I did what, 3.5 weeks? Now I got down to I weighed myself for the next couple of days after this video, low 99s. So call it between 4 and 5 and a bit kilos down. Obviously I didn't measure it exactly the 7-day average at the end of that week because I had other things on my mind, but let's say 4 or 5 kilos. A brilliant start, a good amount of progress. I've got a lot more to do, but I'm so encouraged that actually works. So 3 weeks on now, I weighed myself this morning. I'm 100.5 kilos, so I'm 4 kilos lighter than I was when I started this project. So I'm really happy that I've not piled weight on whilst I've been ill. It's been helped by the fact that I've not been eating much because I've been so unwell. The point I'm at now is where I'm getting better, but not quite. So I'm eating quite a bit more, but I'm just not worrying about it because I know that I need to get lots of calories in within reason, good sleep, and just recover, and then I can worry about this, this project when I'm better. I cannot do anything whilst I'm unwell. So just one of those things. And I think what I'm going to do is I am hopefully going on holiday for a week in a couple of days, and that should be a bit of a training camp. I don't think it's going to be now. It's going to be more of just a rest and recuperation, but that's fine. When I come back, I think I'm going to pick this up again. Obviously, I'm recording this so far ahead of time that I don't know how it's gone down. I'm hoping it's been of some, I don't know, motivation or inspiration or just interesting for some people. But, I like sharing my honest and true journey and the ups and downs. And I think that it just tells the story a bit better when I end up going to, hopefully, these big events and triathlons and things. It just sort of shows that you don't just turn up to these things and, you're in great shape and amazing. There's a bumpy road. I know lots of people experience that. I'm in a privileged position where I talk about it on the internet and some people watch it, and I'm so grateful for you doing that. So I think I'm going to pick this up again when I come back and perhaps just do a weekly update on this specific project, because I don't want to be just talking about my weight in every single video and every single training thing, but I also don't want to be not talking about it because it is a big focus of mine. So there we go. I mean, where I'm at right now is I've got 6 weeks until Outlaw Half Nottingham and 6 weeks till the Gralock, 3 weeks till Dirty Reaver, 16 or 17 weeks till Ironman UK, I'm not going to get intimidated by all that. I'm going to just focus on what I can control. What I'm going to try and control is getting better, and then I'll focus on the training after that. So hope you've enjoyed this little series. Hope you're well. Please do hit like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for maybe some Mallorca holiday vlogging training action. Maybe. See you there. Thanks.